So if you are holding Ethereum, if you are holding Bitcoin, then I suggest you guys to watch this video till the end, because in this video I will be sharing with you where the price in the immediate short term, where the price for the upcoming days might be possibly heading. So before I do that, before I dive into it, please do me a favor and destroy that like button, and to those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. So first thing first, just like how we anticipated, Bitcoin dominance is taking some hit, and on my previous video I showed you guys that maybe the Bitcoin dominance could suffer a little bit. I mean, we could see a breakdown from this rising channel and the dominance heading towards 57-55%, and only after that a reversal like this. But until then, the altcoins are going to benefit from this. Yes, you heard that correctly, guys. If Bitcoin dominance starts breaking down, right, starts heading towards the next area of confluence around 55-57%, then it is very, very obvious that the altcoins are going to benefit from it. And that's why since couple of days we have seen very, very parabolic move playing out in price action of Ethereum. And if you look at it now, things still looks very bullish, but despite the price action looking very bullish, we still need to be careful. There could be a move, more sideways moving, even few pullbacks. Ethereum coming for a retest around CryptoAnup buy-sell indicator. I mean, this is our personal indicator, right? This green band will be acting as support. Along with that, we also have support from this Williams alligator indicator, right? You can see here the support from Williams alligator indicator will be there, and also the support from this Bollinger Band, the central line. As you can see here, this basis line will be acting as a very, very important support for Ethereum. So since the price of Ethereum has already broken out of the upper band, which happens only during uptrend, now there could be a sideways movement, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean we are bearish. I have been very clear with you guys. It could be just a temporary pullback before continuing with this uptrend, because parallelly, if you look at this price action of Ethereum using this parabolic curve pattern, you can see, guys, things looks very, very accurate. I mean, base one, just like here, you can see we already ended the base one. Base two, we also ended base two. Base three, we also ended base three. And this is very interesting here. You can see I marked it with X. So after the X, stock price doubles in a very short time, which it did in our case. I mean, the price of Ethereum after testing around this curve trend line, you can see it turned very, very bullish. So according to this parabolic curve pattern, where could we be finding ourselves at the moment? We could find ourselves around base 4. Yes, guys, we could be consolidating around this area for a while. And that's why I said, even if the price starts showing weakness, right, heads towards this curve line, heads towards the support line, which I just showed you from this Williams alligator indicator, CryptoAnup buy-sell indicator, Bollinger Band, it will be just a temporary pullback before expecting another parabolic move, just like as shown here in an example. I mean, Ethereum showing another parabolic move, and only after that we are going to witness this sell point. And now if we simply zoom out, if you look at this price action of Ethereum here in an hourly time frame, even here you can see Ethereum looks like forming a head and shoulder type of formation. If you look at it carefully, we could see a double left shoulder type of formation playing out here, right? You can see double left shoulder, head. And here, if we do see price showing move like this, but failing to break out of this resistance, I mean, in the immediate short term, this here around $3,600, right? This will be our temporary resistance. So if the price of Ethereum managed to break out of it, flip it into support, then we are invalidating this head and shoulder type of formation. But if the price of Ethereum fails to break out of this key trend line around 3,600 and starts with another continuation like this, just like here with double shoulder, right? Then in our case, we are also going to form two right shoulder and then a temporary exhaustion like this. Yes, you heard that correctly, guys. If the price of Ethereum fails to regain its support above 3,600, then we have to be a little bit careful, because in that case, we might see a move in this manner. Ethereum breaking the neckline and heading towards 3,300, 3,350 price area. But even if that bearish continuation starts playing out, Ethereum shows another continuation like this, it will be a temporary pullback, because we have extremely important support lying for Ethereum. So any sort of a pullback, if you simply zoom out, it will be giving us a buying opportunity. Now let's jump into Bitcoin price action, because nothing much has changed since our last update. I mean, I've been very clear with you guys. Bitcoin here is breaking out from Livermore pivotal point theory, breaking the previous high, flipping that into support, gives us a buying opportunity. And since then, you can see after breaking out of the previous high, flipping that into support, it has definitely resulted in some very bullish continuation. So according to Livermore pivotal point theory, you can see this trend is expected to go higher, right? But if you look at this as an inverse head and shoulder type of formation, you can see even according to the inverse head and shoulder, Bitcoin has already broken out of the neckline, which is going to give us a buying signal. And according to this formation, the inverse head and shoulder formation, you can see our price objective sits in between 130 140,000. So that's why even if the price in the medium short term shows weakness, I mean a weakness like this, even in that case, please zoom out, because I've been very clear with you guys. We still believe 130 140,000 will be tested, and only after that Bitcoin to show an actual weakness. But until then, any sort of a pullback could be just a temporary pullback before expecting a U-shape or a V-shape type of recovery. And now, according to our leading indicator as well, nothing much has changed. Bitcoin still looks very bullish. I mean, if you look at this price action, Bitcoin is still holding very tight around these trend lines. I mean, lower trend line, which is considered as resistance, support, and upper trend line is considered as resistance. But if you look at this area where we are at the moment, you can see we are holding very tight around our R2 line. This R2 line at the moment will be acting as support around $117,000. But even if we fail, right, even if it fails and price shows another continuation towards this R1 line, even in that case, nothing is going to change. The overall picture for Bitcoin still remains bullish. And why? Because we are expecting Bitcoin to print another ascending CPR. These three trend lines are our CPR trend line. So whenever the CPR trend line starts printing higher ascending CPR trend lines, I mean higher than the previous month, each and every time whenever Bitcoin starts printing an ascending CPR, it usually marks a beginning of an uptrend. So in our case, if Bitcoin manages to close the monthly candle above 106,000, the probability is very high, as you can see, since we are hovering around 118,000. Even the next month CPR will be an ascending CPR. So even after some pullback, we are still expecting this continuation to continue in this manner. I mean, Bitcoin for the month of August also to remain bullish. But if you zoom out, if you look at this in a smaller time frame, yes, there could be some weakness. Bitcoin could show some move in this manner. But please, guys, be aware. It does not mean we are going to be completely bearish. Even if this bearish continuation starts playing out, even in that case, you can see we are still going to be above 110,000, because the price objective from this trading pattern, right, this dead cat bounce trading pattern could bring us around 112, 113,000. But even if that happens, nothing is going to change, because our CPR trend line sits around 106,000 area. So that's why it is still going to bring us above the CPR trend line, which is also going to help us print an ascending CPR for the upcoming month. So even if the bearish continuation starts playing out, please do not panic. It could be just a temporary pullback before expecting a continuation, which might look somehow like this. Yes, guys, if you simply zoom out, if you look at this in a 4-hour time frame, you can see Bitcoin also looks like falling a falling wedge, which is a very bullish continuation pattern. This here, this in a weekly time frame, which played out perfectly Now, this is playing out in a 4-hour time frame. So that's why even if Bitcoin shows weakness, even if Bitcoin gets attracted back towards this lower trend line, you can see it could be just a temporary pullback, right? And then a continuation like this could be playing out. So what I'm trying to pinpoint is that for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, it doesn't matter. The bigger picture still remains bullish, even if the smaller picture prints lower lows. Even if that happens, I suggest you guys to simply zoom out, because in a bigger picture, pullback like this could be giving us a buying opportunity. So guys, these were some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed my work, then please do not hesitate to destroy that like button. And to those individuals watching this for the first time, to hit that subscribe button. And also a quick reminder, if you haven't claimed this $30,050 in welcome rewards from Bybit, then definitely check the video description. And by saying this, I'm signing out until next time. Bye-bye.